hope so. All right, so what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking to you about electronic cigarettes and how they are dramatically impacting the health of not only our generation, but the younger generation. So first I'm going to take you back to about when I was about 15 years old. A buddy of mine secured a pack of cigarettes and a can of dip, and we were just really testing the waters, experimenting with nicotine products, and we used those for a while until the first electronic cigarette came out. So at the time, nobody really knew what was in them or how they were even worked. But since they were the latest and greatest technology, we decided to all go out and buy one. And what we didn't know was the concentrate of nicotine was so high that it was literally impossible not to become addicted to these products. And for about 7 years, I used one, and eventually about 4 months ago, I started noticing a lot of really negative side effects. Every time I would eat food, I would choke, and every time I drank water, it felt like my throat was closing up. And then one morning I woke up and it literally felt like I was choking. So I went to the doctor, and the first thing she asked when I walked through the door was, "Are you vaping?" Because apparently it has been a reoccurring thing in young people who have been coming in with the same symptoms that I was having. And what has happened was these fluids in these devices are so high in nicotine that they're causing this gastric acid to come back up and literally burn a hole in my throat. And on top of that, the acid was making my voice box swell to where it felt like my throat was closing and it felt like I was choking. So she prescribed me some medicine and I eventually got better, but that whole situation kind of made me feel like I was very stupid and ignorant to even have put those chemicals into my body in the first place. And you know, we're all students here. We go downtown and we see hundreds of students and young people with these devices in their hands just because it's the popular thing to do right now. And according to WNBC.com, 450 students last week, not last month, last year, last week were admitted to the hospital for these deathly illnesses that are being caused by using these products. And in 2019, 29 people died from the use of these electronic cigarettes. Now, I wanted to include this case to really explain the younger generation being affected, but this kid in Texas this January of 2020 actually died from using one of these electronic cigarettes because he had no idea that he had a pre-existing condition with his lungs, and he got his hands on one and he used it and he died. So that proves a point of these products are targeting the younger generation and our generation, just like, you know, Camel and Marlboro were making their products look very attractive to the younger generation, to our parents' generation. So when these kids get these products, their parents can't really depict them because they look like pens and USB drives, the Juuls, and they're really hard to identify for somebody that doesn't know really what they are. So as a solution, you know, I could sit up here and say, you know, go out and tell all your friends to just go cold turkey and to stop using them. But that would be like me saying, you know, stop tapping your foot. But what's the first thing you're gonna think when you tap your foot? Is to tap your foot. What I should say is, if you tap your foot, it's gonna cause arthritis, and by the time you're 65 years old, you're not gonna be able to walk. So that's what we really have to incorporate to not only our generation, but the generation below us, is we have to put a message out there to really get into the minds of getting them to understand how bad these products are and how we can get them to not feel as attracted to them like as they are right now. And you know, these tobacco products have been on the shelves since the 1900s, and these products have just come out in the past 10 years. So we know what happens when you smoke cigarettes for 30 years. You know, you're gonna get cancer and you're gonna die. These products, we have no idea what's gonna happen. You know, there's no physical evidence because they haven't been out that long. So we really have to start to educate ourselves and the younger generation to really understand how dangerous these products are. And that has just got to be the start to the solution of how we can really get people to understand how dangerous these products are.